Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of January 13th through January 17th of 2025. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also discuss how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Welcome, RT. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great weekend. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for January 13th through January 17th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled How to Make Money Trading in January 2025, I highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trading strategies, and trading ideas for this trading week. We keep all of our weekly trading game plan notes Google documents in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weekly trading game plan notes documents. You can also find a direct link to this Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome, John, Gabe, Fade. Thank you for joining us. Hope you all are having a great weekend. So firstly, we'll quickly go over some of our trade updates for this week, and then we'll look at the charts for these trades in Webull. So firstly, we went long BDRY, which is the ETF on dry bulk shipping. Been watching BDRY for a while, talked about some seasonality effects, etc. We went long on the 7th at 565. You'll see it recently popped up. You can hear our thesis on BDRY via the bonus link to the video in the notes. Secondly, we finally got stopped out of our long position in CPSH, CPS Technologies Corporation. We entered into this in the end of June of 2024 at 171. We finally got stopped out on the 8th at 172 for pretty much break even. A very low float, small company. So once that finally got profitable, I finally put a stop in and got out of that for break even. So congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who profited on this trade on CPSH or possibly even still profiting. We'll keep an eye on CPSH for further opportunities to swing trade that in the future. Thirdly, we sold cash secured puts on MED, Medifast Inc. We're also watching that to possibly buy shares. But we went ahead and sold cash secured puts at the 15 strike price for the February 21 expiration for $1. They're pretty much break even at this point. It's been somewhat volatile, but it had popped up and then declined pretty rapidly. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to possibly sell some relatively short duration puts. We'll attempt to buy those back cheaper, generate a self-generated dividend, and then rinse and repeat. Again, we've had several discussions on MED, our thesis behind that, and you can access that thesis via the link to the bonus video in the notes. Although I don't ever recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career to be alerted when we enter or exit a trade. You can get real-time trade alerts when we enter or exit a trade by joining our Patreon. We also have several channels of additional types of alerts available in our Discord, available to our Patreon members that I'll very quickly show you. You can learn more about how you can best use our trade alerts via the link to the bonus video in our notes. So firstly, in our Discord, we have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel. available to our Patreon members. I set up price alerts in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to the Thinkorswim alerts channel. So we can see when SLP recently hit its 52-week low, when Tate just hit its 52-week low, and then if I follow that up with an actual trade, then I'll reply to it in the Thinkorswim so we can see where we got stopped out of our CPSH position, which originally was triggered by a Thinkorswim alert. Then I'll reply to that in the Thinkorswim alerts channel. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, like here where we sold cash secure puts on MED, then I'll post that in the trade alerts channel in our Discord. Finally, we have a alerts channel of real-time alerts generated by our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out near support or price target level. You can hear more about how you can get alerted when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc. We have the link to the video in our notes. So here's the real-time alerts channel, a great way to see sector rotations, changes in sentiment, reversals in the market. So we see UNG, natural gas breaking out, TMF, so that's TLT breaking out, TLT, etc. So again, another great way for shorter term traders, day traders, momentum traders, etc. See sector rotations, again, changes in sentiment, reversals in the market. And again, you can get access to all these types of alerts by joining our Patreon. Okay, so if we quickly look at the charts for those trades in Webull. So firstly, we'll look at BDRY. Welcome to Crow. Fairchild, thank you all for joining us today. So here's BDRY. I'll zoom into this a little bit. We can see we got into BDRY right in that area on the 7th. Again, congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who were actually even able to get that at a cheaper price after we alerted. Again, I have a tendency to be early, so a lot of times you'll have an opportunity to get an even better price once you receive our alert. And we can see on Friday, BDRY started to run up. You can see I've got a stop right below that pivot point. I will probably move that stop up further if BDRY continues to run. We zoom out quite a ways. We see BDRY's got plenty of potential upside up into the 16 levels. So again, I'll keep manually moving that stop up, manually trailing BDRY if it continues to run up, or scalp it, take profit if it happens to roll over. Again, CPSH we've had for a long time. So back last June or so, we got in on this kind of flat area, 171 or so. You see it's declined down to that lower support line, finally bounced back up a little bit. So it had started to run up and got rejected, failed back down. I didn't want to give our profits back, so lose money on that again. So we just stopped out of there. Again, MED is one we've been watching for a while. Medifast, again, you can hear our thesis on Medifast. See, it's been somewhat volatile, had run up, started to come back down on that steep decline. Again, I saw an opportunity to sell those puts. It bounces back up. We'll look to buy those puts back. And again, we'll see if there's an opportunity to also buy shares in Medifast as well. I think the low is low 15s, 15, 13 or so. Welcome to Crow if I've missed you earlier. Hope you're having a great weekend. Walter Lyons, thank you all for joining us today. Okay, so let me grab a quick drink and we'll go over our watch list updates for this week for our top swing trading stocks to watch list. Welcome to Ricky Khan. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great weekend. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 40 free fractional shares of stock by opening and funding your account with as little as $2,000. Under $2,000, you get 20 free fractional shares of stock, each worth $3,000 to $3,000. Notice they're also still offering a 3.75 interest on your uninvested cash, and they may offer a bonus interest on periodic promotions. So if you use our affiliate link in the description box below, get all your fractional shares of stock and the other promotions they're offering at this time, and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. So firstly, we'll quickly go over our updates to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. We'll look at the charts as well. Just a quick reminder, you can now also trade 24 hours a day on Webull. So you can get more information about 24-hour trading in Webull using the link to the video in the notes, also posting in our Discord. So again, I'm taking BDRY off of our top swing trading stocks to watch list as we're already long. You can see it ran up. We also have BDRY in our ETFs Google sheet. So again, I'll be trailing that and scalping that off, taking some profit as appropriate. And take Shutterstock out of our top swing trading stocks to watch list. It popped up on the confirmation of the merger with Getty Images. Congratulations to all of our BeachBum traders who were able to catch that pop, make a profit on Shutterstock after we alerted that we added it to our watch list on January 2nd. We'll see it retrace some. So, but again, that merger is pretty much going to be a done deal. So I don't expect further movement on that merger news. So again, congratulations to our BeachBum traders who profited on our trade idea on Shutterstock. You can hear our previous discussions on Shutterstock via the link to the video in the notes. As we've been discussing and looked at yesterday, bond prices have declined significantly, continue to decline. Eventually a bottom in reverse, and there's an opportunity to go long bonds using either TMF or TLT. We're already long a full position in TMF, but I've left that in the watch list for your benefit if you want to long bonds with TLT or TMF. Also, I left ULTY. This is the Yield Max Ultra Option Income Strategy ETF. Again, we're still long ULTY. We collected our dividend for January on ULTY. Again, with the rotation out of technology, ULTY is down. Just went ex-dividend on the 8th. So again, we just collected our dividend. But if you want to get into ULTY, I think there'll be a upside opportunity with a rotation back into technology. Might take a look at ULTY. You can hear our thesis on how to trade ULTY via the bonus links to the videos in the notes. Yesterday we looked at the yen. YCL is leveraged long on the yen. Saw yesterday it looks like the yen may have found a bottom. Important note is the next BOJ, Bank of Japan interest rate decision is on the 24th at 3 a.m. I put the link to the calendar for the Bank of Japan interest rate decisions, so we can keep an eye on that. The trigger for YCL is top of resistance in the USD to yen. So that's if you want to watch that in TOS, look up USD/JPY in Thinkorswim. The 52-week high on that was 161.943. So I put a price alert in Thinkorswim for that top. Although again, it looks like the yen may have found this ratio may have found a top below that. So we'll be looking at potentially going long on the yen using YCL soon. Again, you can hear our thesis on various foreign currencies, ETFs, a comparison via the link to the video in our notes. Welcome, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great weekend. So we'll quickly look at those in our watch list Google Sheet. And again, just a quick reminder, at the end of each day, our watch lists, top swing trading stocks to watch list, our bullpen stocks, etc., get generated into our watch list Google Sheet. You can watch them in near real time, and you can get 24/7 access to our watch list Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. We have a whole series of videos on how you can use our watch list Google Sheet to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch. You can use the PE and ATRs to buy at and sell at price targets in our watch list Google Sheet. You have the links to all those videos in the notes. If I do make any updates to our any of our watch lists after that Google Sheet is generated, then I post that in the stock in the watch list stock watch list updates channel in our Discord. So our Patreon members are alerted as soon as I add any new stocks to our watch list or bullpen stocks, etc. So you can see on the 2nd when we added Shutterstock, added SLP back into our bullpen. Again, so you've got the most current stocks in our watch list. And our watch list Google Sheet contains price targets, buy at, sell at, support resistance levels. You can see the risk reward profiles, get links to their profiles in FinViz, also dividend information, optionality information, again, PEs and average true range. And then again, we can watch those in near real time using our watch list Google Sheet. We look at those charts quickly in Webull. If I go to my top swing trading stock to watch list in Webull, here's again TMF. This is a leveraged long on TLT. So we've seen again bond prices just continue to decline. Bond yields keep popping up. As we mentioned yesterday, I kind of expect the 30 years to probably test that 5% level again. So it might be slightly more downside in the long end of the bond curve. So once that does reverse and swing back up, might be a good opportunity to long bonds. Again, we know eventually rates will come down. It just may take some long period of time. So given this is leverage, you might want to wait for that swing back up to commence. ULTY, see it's been pretty volatile. Again, that rotation out of technology drove ULTY down. Also, it just went ex-dividend on the 8th, so we've got that drop due to the ex-dividend. You think technology is going to rotate back up. Also, ULTY is a little bit diverse. So if you look at the holdings, you can decide whether that think you'll get more price appreciation in ULTY. Does have a pretty attractive dividend, but as we've seen, the total return for these yield maxes is generally negative. YCL on the yen. So if we zoom out a little bit, well, YCL is pretty much at its bottom. Though again, the yen isn't really. It may have reached a recent bottom, but it's not as low as it was before the BOJ raised their interest rates. Previously, we got that first unravel of the yen carry trade, so you can see the potential upside. If the BOJ raises rates again on the 24th, we might get another one of those unravels of the yen carry trade, get a nice pop in the yen, be the opportunity with YCL. So I hope that all helps. Okay, let me grab another quick drink and we'll go through our bullpen stocks. Got some new ones that I probably want to do some quick due diligence on. Okay, here's our bullpen stocks for this week. So if you're new to our community, the concept of the bullpen stocks are ones that don't necessarily have the setup right now to warrant inclusion in our top swing trading stocks to watch list, but I've identified that they may in the near future, so we put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves and we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can revisit them again in the future. So firstly, I've left the AMDY. AMDY is the yield max on AMD in the bullpen, although again, we're already long AMDY. We collected the dividend for January on AMDY. Again, AMD's been pummeled pretty severely, down significantly. So if you think AMD will reverse, AMDY has potential price appreciation, you might be interested in a position. AMDY, again, pretty attractive dividend. But again, the total return's been negative. So we're looking for a turnaround in AMD to give us price appreciation in AMDY, and then we'll probably get out of AMDY. You can hear our previous analysis on AMDY via the link to the video in the notes. MED, Medifast. Again, we've been watching Medifast for a while. You can hear our thesis on Medifast, again, via the bonus link to the video in the notes. We saw the chart. I sold puts on MED, potentially also buy shares. A new addition to our bullpen stocks that I want to do some quick due diligence on. It's METC, Ramaco Resources Inc. This is a coke and coal play. We've traded METC profitably in the past. I guess I'd never done a due diligence video on METC. I wanted to do some quick due diligence on METC. We saw yesterday that coke and coal was down significantly, so rotation out of coal. We talked about the potential Trump opportunities, kind of focused on coal, focused on the coal producing region, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, etc. Made some promises about renewing that industry. So I think that's one of the reasons I'm interested in METC. So let's go take a look at that in FinViz. So a couple ways you can get at the profiles for these stocks in FinViz. Again, we've got our bullpen stocks in the bullpen sheet of our watch list Google sheet. You can access their profiles via the link in the FinViz URL column in our watch list Google sheet, probably the most efficient way. So here's MET, Ramaco Resources, again, coke and coal, basic materials. See, it's recently come down, does pay a dividend, so recently paid 14 cents, looks like a quarterly dividend. See their last earnings, they did lose a little bit of money, but before that, they were expected to lose. They made some money, beat their estimates. So a little bit of volatility in their earnings. You can see it's kind of headed down. We zoom out a little bit. And it broke down below its below its 50-week, below its 200-week. So again, another reason I put it in the bullpen. We want to see when that downtrend turns. Again, it's down below its 50 months. So right now it's headed down. It's got good potential upside into the low 20s. So better than a double. See, they do make money, so they are profitable. Got a PE about 13, nominal dividend yield of about 6%. Again, performance this year has been pretty poor, almost 60% down. Pretty low float, not tiny, but low. Pretty low volume, 500K. Go to their definition and also their income statement, etc. So they engage in operation and development of coal mining properties. Their metallurgical coal, or what's called coking coal, which is used in steel production, primarily in steel production. So it's not thermal coal. It's not the kind of coal they burn for heating. Used primarily in steel production. So again, might get some downward pressure if steel's down. See there in West Virginia, Pennsylvania. So again, the area that Trump was saying he wanted to bring back the coal industry. Look at their recent quarterly incomes, etc. So down the most recent quarter, but it was higher the previous quarter. EPS pretty flat, was positive. Look at their annuals. So net income's been declining, but it's positive. EPS, again, declining, but positive. So again, part of the reason for their price decline. Another angle that I really like with METC is they have a probably lesser known rare earth materials angle. So if we find some of those news items, they have a Brook Mine rare earth materials. So you can see they have this Ramaco's Brook Mine rare earth deposit. So again, like MP materials, again, pretty lesser known that they're involved in rare earth materials. They do have a tendency to get a pop also on positive sentiment on rare earth materials. So again, I like both the coal angle and the rare earth materials angle on METC. So I also want to look at them quickly in Chartmill. So just a reminder, you can find links to the tools and resources we frequently use on our homepage. Homepage is beachbumtrading.com, without the U. So if I go down to trading tools, I can find Chartmill. Get METC. I'll look at the fundamentals. So 6 out of 10, so pretty good. Good valuation, good profitability, dividends low, health a little low, growth a little low. Profitability is good. Return on assets, not bad. Health a little, about average. Altman Z's 2.57, so only limited risk of bankruptcy. So again, they're making money. Not a lot of risk of offerings or bankruptcy. If you look at their technical real quick, right now 0 out of 10. Setup right now is only 1 out of 10. So again, another reason I put that in the bullpen is right now the setup isn't great. The risk reward's pretty attractive, but again, it's currently in decline. So we want to see where that finds a bottom, turns back up, and then we're looking for opportunities again to get back into METC. See, the next big support level might be down at 8 or so. So again, we'll watch METC in our bullpen, look for opportunities to swing that. Again, I like the coal angle as well as the rare earth materials angle. Again, if they get some government contract, you'll see some of that discussion in the news. If they get some government contracts for rare earth materials, that may afford METC a nice pop. So please let me know what you think of METC, if you've traded it before, if you have any other experience you want to share with the stock, the company, etc. I would love to hear about you in the comments to this video or in our Discord. Okay, the next one we're also adding to our bullpen this week is Pizza PZZA, which is Papa John's Pizza. This popped up as a double bottom in Finviz on the 6th, so I added it to the bullpen. I also added Papa John's PZZA to our database, our dividend payers, and our puts ROIC Google Sheet, so we can compare the options of selling puts or buying shares on PZZA. So I also wanted to do some quick due diligence on Papa John's. I really like Papa John's pizza. I strongly prefer it over Domino's. Again, I like it. We used to have one that would deliver here quite a while ago, but it's been gone for a while. So we can see that double bottom. It actually broke down below that double bottom. It's in pretty steep decline. See, it does pay a dividend, about 46 cents a quarter, was higher. Looks like they were just in line on their last earnings. They did beat out revenue, so I'm not really sure what's driving the decline. We'll look at the news. PE's less than 13 is not bad. Again, this is a consumer cyclical, but it's food delivery, make plenty of money, doesn't have a lot of debt, it is optionable, not a lot of discrepancy in shares, good volume, performance this year minus 50%, so it's been declining significantly this year. Go down to their income. So the annual income is actually increasing. EPS increasing. So again, past couple years, financials look good. Past couple quarters also increasing. EPS is increasing. So again, from financial standpoint, everything looks good. If I look at the news, I don't see anything severely negative. So again, I'm not real sure. I know they had a CEO transition. They changed some of their promotions. But again, there's some negative sentiment driving it down, possibly a real good. So there's, the CEO transition. We zoom out on the charts a bit. Again, been in pretty steep decline. So again, it's pretty near its 2019, actually potentially below its 2019 bottom. Upside way up to 140, although that was the post-pandemic pop. But again, plenty of upside. We're just again waiting for it to find a bottom and then swing back up. And this looks like a very attractive. That looks like a multiple 3-touch type bottom right around the 38 area. So again, I really like a potential swing trade, long-term swing trade in pizza. And again, right now, we'll look at the options, the puts. So maybe the play right now is to sell puts and wait for it to swing back up and then look at buying shares in pizza. Let me know what y'all think of Papa John's. I'll briefly look at it in chart mill as well. I'm not too concerned given their financials or their fundamentals. I'll take a quick look. So fundamental standpoint, 5 out of 10, so pretty much average. Good profitability, valuations a little below average, health a little weak, dividends pretty good, growth's a little below average, so very profitable. Return on assets is good, health's a little weak. Altman Z 3.92, little risk of bankruptcy, so again, not worried about their financials. Technicals, 0 out of 10, so bad setup right now. And 1 out of 10, so again, I put it in the bullpen. The setup right now is pretty poor, but we'll wait for that setup to improve in Papa John's and see if we can get a swing opportunity there. Again, love to hear your feedback on what you think of PZZA, Papa John's. What do you think is driving the price down? Is it something in sentiment? Is there something I'm missing? I'd love to hear your further feedback. And again, we'll look at the potential of also selling puts on PZZA, Papa John's, using our puts RYC Google Sheet. Welcome, MD. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So some of the others we've had in our bullpen, SLP, Simulations Plus. So you can hear our discussion on Simulations Plus via the link to the bonus video in the notes. Also, you saw I added Tatron components back on the 23rd. Again, one we've traded a low float, we've traded profitably in the past. You can hear our discussions on Tate via the links to the videos in our notes. Quickly look at those charts in Webull. Again, here's AMD, the basis of AMDY. So again, it's been in steep decline, continues to decline. They got some downgrades, etc. So although I saw Kathy Woods has been buying AMD, might provide some level of support. So we're waiting for a rebound in AMD to scalp off AMDY. Talked about Medifast. Again, it did swing up a little bit. They had some news that they have some products related to GLP-1s that probably gave it the pop. If we do get a quick retracement, might be a good opportunity to get into MED. Again, we sold puts on MED already. We look at METC, METC. See, it's been in decline, just looking for some support that we can find to swing that back up. Just looked at pizza, PZZA. Been watching SLP, again, very volatile. So it spiked down to 24, bounced back up to 28 pretty rapidly. So again, a lot of volatility. We'll see if we can catch one of these. Looks like a pretty good capitulation there at 24. Again, we're also looking at potentially selling puts on SLP. All of the puts are pretty illiquid, hard to sell. Tate, again, low float, pretty choppy. Previous low at 250 or so. Did come down to that support level, about 251. You saw we got a alert that it hit its 52-week low in our TOS alerts. So we'll see if there's an opportunity, although Tate's not optionable. So I'm less apt to buy Tate. Again, you can see this in our bullpen sheet of our watch list Google sheet. See all the price targets, risk reward profiles, dividend information, optionality, etc. PEs. So if you want to compare valuations, also ATRs. So again, not sure I want to pursue Tate since I can't sell options on it, and it is a low float, choppy stock, which I tend to have difficulty on, but we'll see. Okay. Can I continue to build a list of honorable mention stocks if we have time to do more due diligence on any of these? So we can. Last week we did RES, left that in there as that continues to pop up as a multiple bottom, potentially attractive. So you can take a look at that. Also some others. I just added this one, Spartan Nash, consumer defensive. So the double bottom in Finviz on the 6th. You can take a look at that one. Again, we'll come back to those if we have time to do further due diligence. Just very quickly, we always recommend you have your shopping list ready of stocks you want to buy on a decline in the market, irrational reactions to earnings, etc. Again, we've seen pretty steep decline on Friday. Could have been an opportunity to pick up some of your shopping list stocks. We just recommend you still stay clear of zombie stocks, zombie companies, etc. We heard with the stronger than expected jobs data, the probability of further rate cuts anytime soon has decreased. So these zombie companies may be under further pressure. They can't refinance their debt, can't issue more debt, and we may see more of them going bankrupt. So again, not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content should be considered for education and hopefully some entertainment purposes only. Also be aware if you happen to sell any of the big losers from last year for tax loss harvesting, please be aware of the wash sale rule so you don't invalidate your tax loss harvest. And if you're not familiar with how that works, please get more information via the link to the video in our notes. If you're concerned about a stock being insolvent, going bankrupt, having to do an offering, etc., be it a biotech or any money-losing company, you can calculate their quarter's cash flow positive using our biotech due diligence Google sheet, and you can make a copy of that or get 24/7 access to that via the link in our notes by joining our Patreon. We have a whole series of videos on trading biotech stocks, how you can use our biotech due diligence Google sheet to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive, can avoid companies going bankrupt, issuing offerings, reverse splitting on you, etc. You can see our shopping list of stocks currently in the shop list tab of our watch list Google sheet. So as we discussed yesterday, we're also watching wheat. So I haven't bothered to put that in our top swing trading stocks to watch list or bullpen, but we saw wheat futures are coming down. So WEAT, the ETF on wheat's pretty close to its 52-week low, but the wheat futures have more potential downside. So I'm watching those futures to determine the bottom in WEAT, and then we'd be very interested in a long on wheat using WEAT. Some of the other REITs we watch coming down some, Stag, LTC, etc. We're already long land. I took that out of our list, but it does continue to decline. So if you're interested in that, you can watch that in the shop list tab of our watch list Google sheet as well. Okay, let me grab a drink and we'll go over dividend payers. So if anyone in the chat has a particular dividend payer you want to take a look at, please put those tickers up in the chat. I'll try to check the chat and then we can take a quick spin through our dividend payers. So again, in addition to our swing trading, we use dividend payers to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. And we use our dividend payers Google Sheet to create our schedule of dividend payers with the schedule, the yield, risk reward profile, etc. that we would like. And you can also do likewise, use our dividend payers Google Sheet 24/7 by joining our Patreon. Got a whole series of videos on how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to find the best dividend paying stocks, and you can access that series via the link in our notes. The only change I have for this week is I'm removing some that are no longer active. So CID is an ETF that's no longer active. Otherwise, I don't have any changes. If you would like us to research any additional dividend payers, you can just let me know the ticker, etc. We can add those to our dividend payers Google Sheet and automated systems and collect the dividend payment information and update our Google Sheet. And you can see the recent enhancements we added and have been discussing about the total yield. Still got the question if you all would continue to like to see the components to that calculation in the dividend payers Google Sheet. So love your feedback on that. Also, any additional conditional formatting you'd like to see in our dividend payers Google Sheet, help you quickly identify the dividend payers that fit your desires, your criteria. Please let me know what you would like, or if there's any other types of conditional formatting you'd like to see in our dividend payers Google Sheet. So just very quickly, I mentioned some of the yield maxes and that most of them have a negative total yield. So now with the conditional highlighting, conditional formatting in our dividend payers, we can see that with the exception of NBDA, MSTY, AMZY, the others we have in our dividend payers all have a negative total return. So if you're looking for price appreciation, that's fine, as we are in AMDY. But again, most of the others have a negative total return, even ULTY, significant negative total return. So as other people have pointed out, probably best for scalping, very short term, not great for long term holds, given their negative total return. So again, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat and just quickly spin through. This is Mexican Telecom, not terribly interested in that. This is a money-losing REIT. Hershey's a little bit interesting, pretty close to its support level. Although again, total return's pretty low. IEF and IEI, again, pretty low total return, but pretty stable. Those are bond ETFs. So money-losing furniture, we've done some analysis on. We talked about MJ again yesterday. That one might be interesting. They just paid their dividend. Mosaic, again, pretty negative total return. Some of these closed-end debt funds are all showing as potentially attractive, so might take a look at those. They're all debt-based closed-end funds. Some have pretty attractive total returns, so might be of some interest. These are, again, debt-based closed-end funds. Again, higher yield might be putting negative pressure on those debt-based closed-end funds. Here's the dividend information on Pizza, Papa John's. Again, pretty negative total return given their price depreciation. This one's kind of interesting. This is a High Yield International ETF. Again, emerging markets, international, might be under pressure from the strong dollar, but it's got a 5.8% total return, so that might be interesting. Been watching STM for a while. Still got some potential risk, and again, pretty negative total return. TIP, talked about that. Bonds got a 5%, pretty stable. TLTs, talked about UTLY. Okay, I don't see anyone else, any other mentions. Again, I'll leave this open. If anybody wants to take a look at any other dividend payers, I'll leave it open. We can take a look at those in a minute. Let me grab a drink and we'll talk about option strategies. Okay, so in addition to our dividend payers, we also use several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. The first is covered calls. So we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down, and we use our covered calls Google Sheet to identify and do what-if analysis on various covered call options to identify the best expiration strike price premium to sell and buy back covered calls. Got a whole series of videos on how you can use our covered calls Google Sheet to do what-if analysis on your covered calls. And you can get 24/7 access to our covered calls Google Sheet. Make a copy for yourself. Again, do what-if analysis on various covered call strategies. I'm using this much more to identify options, and I've got some additional automation to try to identify the expiration and share price of various options to sell covered calls at. You can see all the yellow ones are ones where I have sells out. Green, so it's been bought. We're looking to buy it back. So I've sold one on load, looking to buy it back. So again, using this much more heavily to try to generate more income on covered calls. Again, something you can do likewise on your stock positions. Recent enhancement, I took some of the old analysis we've done and I moved it to a backup sheet in our covered calls Google Sheet. So now as these get old, but again, if you want to make a copy, see where we were looking at selling various calls on various other stocks in the past, make a copy, move it up to the main sheet, etc. Put those in the backups. So I hope that all helps. So our second option strategy we use, as you saw, is we sell put options when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're going back up, like we did on MED. You can see our criteria for selling puts, etc. We have a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to identify opportunities to sell and then buy back puts. And again, you can use or get access 24/7 access to our puts ROIC Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. So just some quick updates to our puts ROIC Google Sheet, and then we'll go take a look at it. I will be updating rolling all the January 17 expirations to February 21s, probably before tomorrow morning. So we'll start collecting the data on the Februaries as they're now within the 40-day window that we use for our puts. So some of the updates, I added an Intel at 20 for February, and I've got a sell out on that. I thought that might hit on Friday, didn't quite hit yet, but it's a little bit more attractive premium. See, looks pretty attractive. Intel's down quite a bit. Some others that have popped up, some in the ROIC tool. We've got the option seller ROI seller ROI tool and the tools sheet that I use every day. See if anybody else potentially attractive. So I added Bill at 45 for February. As we mentioned, I'm looking at potentially selling puts on PZZA, Pizza, Papa John's. Set that at 32.50 strike per February. So on Monday, we'll collect that data for PZZA, see if there's a good option for selling puts against Papa John's. Added SLP at a 25 strike for February, and I put a put in for Shutterstock at 27.50 for February as well. Again, we saw Shutterstock popped up, declined pretty dramatically after that big pop. Probably not going to buy shares in Shutterstock, given the confirmation of that merger is pretty done deal, but maybe sell some puts, generate some income. And then, if that merger culminates, might get a pop and buy those puts back. Also, I lowered some of the puts on some of these as they declined below their strike price. So I lowered MGA from 40 to 37.50 and ON from 55 to 50. So if we quickly look at our main watch list, see, I've got a sellout on AHR. It's still significantly higher than its strike. Premium's not currently very attractive. Here's the Intel. So I've got the January and the February's in our sheet. See, the February is significantly more premium. If you want to try to sell, very short term on Intel, you can get 6% or you get 9%. Where the February's at the current high. I've got a sell out at 250. Again, I thought that might hit on Friday. See, that'd be pretty attractive, almost 11%. We sold some on Sirius XM. See, it's currently below its strike price, but it's still above my break even. So I could get aside those. Haven't yet. And if it does bounce back up, then we'll try to buy those back cheaper. Also talked about selling on SOXL, SVXY. Premium's still pretty low. There isn't anything else on the main watch list that's real attractive right now. But again, the VIX is popping up a little bit, so some of the premiums getting more attractive. Look at the research sheet. Look for anybody that's 5% or better. Not a whole lot right now. Again, we sold one at MED for I think $1. Yep. And if you got notified of that sell, you might have been able to sell it for a little bit higher. Still got to sold one out on NEP. It's now above, just waiting for that to expire or buy it back cheap. ON, again, that's going to decrease because I lowered the strike. SLP, again, I've got a sell out right now. It's on January. I added the one for February, so maybe we'll move that sell to February. Also Shutterstock, see if those get attractive. So otherwise, not a whole lot. And if you'd like us to add and do the research on any puts, add it to our automated system, update our puts ROIC Google Sheet at the end of the day, so let me know the ticker, expirations, etc. We can add those to our automated system and update our Google Sheet at the end of the day. Again, we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet for your options trading. make money trading options, also other videos on how to make money trading options in our options playlist. Okay, let me very quickly check the chat and see if there's anything you all want to, any questions you have, any stocks you want to quickly take a look at. Please throw those up in the chat. If I missed your previous question or stock request, I apologize. Please put those back up in the chat and we take a look at them real quickly. Okay, again, if I missed your question or your stock request, I apologize. Please put those in the comments to our videos or in our Discord. Please tag us in our Discord. We're BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, numbers, symbols, etc. Anyone else is an imposter, please ignore and report them. Also, we would love your feedback on what we can do to improve our weekly trading game plans, any of our videos, our tools, our Google Sheets, etc., our community. What can we do to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders? We hope that you like this content. We greatly appreciate it if you'd smash the like button. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to show us some love someday and share our content with more traders, continue to build our BeachBum trading community. Also, I wanted to mention, please check your subscription and your notifications. Apparently, YouTube's been dropping subscribers, dropping notifications. So please make sure you're subscribed. You have all notifications set on with the bell icon so you're notified. We pretty much release some kind of video almost every day. So please make sure you're getting notifications that you're subscribed so you can get access to our content as quickly as possible. Again, we'd greatly appreciate it if you'd share our content, repost our content to your fellow traders. Again, help us try to continue to build the BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. Thank you again to everyone that participated in the chat, everyone that's watching after the fact. Hope to see you all again back next weekend, 10 a.m. on Saturdays for part 1, 10 a.m. on Sundays for part 2 of our weekly trading game plans. And again, watch for, set your notifications, watch for our videos that we release during the week. Again, we hope to see you all back next weekend. Good luck and have a great trading week.